Hello friends, this is Maria Viles, energy healer from White Feather Reiki Healing Center with you again. Thank you for being here with me. I hope you're doing well and you're staying safe. I want to thank you for your comments, your feedback, and your support for the previous video. I really appreciate that. Today I want to talk about self-care. I feel this is something that it's an issue for many people. Personally been seeing how it's very difficult for some to take care of themselves in many aspects, right? Whether it's physically, emotionally, whether it's taking care of their the way how they feel about what's going on around them. It's it's something that many of us struggle with, because for some people it's easier to take care of others, right? Some people just their life revolves about helping others, right? We always know someone that's always there for everybody, right? We tend to be amazing at taking care of our families, our friends, taking care of our jobs, taking care of our children, taking care even our employees, our clients, even our bosses sometimes, and even our pets, right? We are great. Some people even don't hesitate to be there for even strangers, right? If they have to, they're just right there. But when it comes to taking care of ourselves, sometimes we hit a wall. Sometimes we hesitate. Sometimes we make excuses for not doing what we need to do, right? And things, fall off the cracks sometimes, and then we are faced with a much bigger problem that didn't have to be, right? So I think this is something very important that we need to discuss briefly. So personally, of course, I'm not immune to this, right? Of course, I think everyone, if not almost everyone, has found themselves at some point not taking care of themselves the way they should, right? Whether they're under a lot of stress, they don't sleep well, don't eat well, don't drink enough water, whatever it might be, right? It could be also, emotionally, we might struggle sometimes to speak up and to say how we feel to someone or a situation, or do something, or when we are in a job that we don't like, and we feel we're stuck there, or with a partner or a friend, and we hesitate to do something about it or say something about it, right? So I found myself there too, and I felt the struggle. I felt like moving against the current almost, right? Like extremely difficult to overcome. But at the end, it's important to face whatever it is that we need to face in order to overcome that issue, because the reward, once we've accomplished whatever it is that has been there that wasn't right, it's very rewarding, right? It feels good. We feel good about ourselves, and we learn something in the process, right? Which is great. So I want to talk a little bit about that. As a healer, I've noticed how some clients also struggle with making steps to improve in their healing journey, right? To make a difference, to keep moving forward, right? And sometimes it could be, even if the issue or the problem at hand might seem very complicated, we need to start somewhere, right? We need to start by taking baby steps, right? To get us where we want to go. And sometimes, it could be something very simple that we need to do to get us started on the right and get us on track. But I've seen many times how something very simple can be extremely difficult for some people. And that's because there's a lot more that's going on underneath, right? And those are the little ideas and issues that I want to talk to you about today. And in order to bring things under perspective, I want to bring up an issue that also comes very often, that a lot of people ask me about. And that's about the issue we're having right now with people that don't want to wear a mask outside, right? Or around other people. So some people feel that obviously are very concerned about the virus, like most of us are, and they're taking their precautions. They wear their mask, they wash their hands, they maintain social distance, but they get very upset when they see someone out there that's not doing the same, whether they're not wearing a mask, they're not maintaining distance, they're not taking this disease seriously. And people get upset when they see that on others, right? Why aren't they doing that? Why can't they take care of themselves and take care of me, right? Because we all in this together. And the way I feel about that is that it's not so much about them not taking care of us. It's about them not willing to take care of themselves, right? So the way I see it, how can we ask someone who doesn't want to take care of themselves by wearing a mask to take care of us, to worry about us, right? So I think it's a more profound issue there, and more than being upset when I see that, I get concerned. I'm worried about that person that I see walking outside without a mask and not willing to maintain social distance and make believe that everything is okay, right? I think that's a bigger problem. And so I invite you, if you feel that way, if you get upset when you see people doing that, to think about it in a different way and try to understand that they might be going through something much more deep, much more profound, than not worry about the rest of us, right? So what happens when we're not taking care of ourselves, right? Basically, we are refusing to make a change, as small as it might be, right? And that causes resistance, and that resistance manifests in different ways. So I just want to give some examples of how we can identify, that resistance, whether it's in ourselves or in other people, right? I invite you to do that. So this resistance can show up as a non-verbal issue, right? For example, we might be saying, well, when someone brings the subject that we don't want to face or we don't want to talk about, or it's time for us to go somewhere that we have to face that, we might, get up and leave the room, we might, get sick, we might always get up late, we might procrastinate, right? So these are all, ways how we ourselves are putting resistance to the situation without saying a word, right? Also, some people that will deal with something like that by either drinking alcohol, smoking, or for people that tend to eat junk food or sweets when they're under a lot of stress, that's how they're manifesting that without saying a word, right? Also, we can make assumptions. We can make assumptions about the situation that keeps us from moving forward. For example, we can say, well, it wouldn't do any good to do anything about that. My case is different. We can say it just wouldn't help doing anything about it, or it will work itself out. I'll just give it some time and it might just go away. Again, these are ways that we are expressing, resistance, and we're refusing to do something about it, right? We can also put our beliefs on the table and allow them to keep us from moving forward or do something about the issue. So we can say, well, that's not my thing, I don't like doing that, I'm not familiar with that, or women or men don't do that. We can say my family never did that, so I'm not comfortable with that. For example, love is not for me. That's a way that we put a belief in front of the situation. We can say it's too far, it's too much work. We can say it's too expensive, right? These are all, if you can catch, ways of how we say, no, I'm not doing anything about that, or I don't believe in that, you know, I don't want to face that because I'm not sure that's how I feel or what I believe in. I need to have my heart in it, right? Since I don't, I'm not going to do anything. It will take too long to do, for example, or I'm not that kind of a person, so that's not for me, right? Again, we putting our beliefs in front to resist making changes and taking action on taking care of ourselves, right? In this case, we can blame others. That's the most common one. You know, it's their fault. You know, I won't do anything until they do something about it. We can say, you know, I don't have the right tools, the right books, the right teachers, the right resources, whatever it is, the right classes, or the right information to do something about this, right? We can say I'm too busy. I can't find time off work or what I'm already doing to do something about this, right? We can say that they have to change first. You know, they have to do something about it first before I do something. Or we can just say, well, they don't understand me, right? That's why I can't do anything about this, because I have to make them understand where I'm coming from, right? It could be also, we can say that it's against our religion, our upbringing, our philosophy, right? To do something about it. That could be another way that we can express some resistance to the issue. What else? Ideas. We can have some ideas about ourselves that can keep us from doing anything about, you know, taking care of ourselves. We can say, well, I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm too fat, I'm too skinny, I'm too poor, I'm too weak, I'm too dumb, you name it, right? And we can put that as an excuse, right, for helping us, you know, move in the direction that we need to. Of course, making excuses like most of these are, well, and you know, I'll do it later. We can say I can think right now, I'm too busy again, it's not the right time for me to do anything right now, I'll think about it tomorrow, the time isn't right, it's too early, it's too late, it's too soon, you know, again, excuses. We can deny there's a problem. We can think or say, well, there's nothing going on, there's nothing I need to do about it, you know, that's not just me, that's not happening to me, so I don't have to do anything. Or we can say I can't do anything about this problem, right? It's not in my hands to do anything about it. Or say, what good would it do to change or do anything about it, right? Or if I ignore it long enough, it will go away by itself, right? Also, another way that we can express resistance is by fear, by saying I'm afraid of failing if I do something, I'm afraid of what people might think about me, if I do or say something about it, I don't want people to know what's going on, you know, I might get hurt if I say or do something about this, I might have to change, I am afraid of change, I don't trust anyone, I'm not good enough, right? These are all ways on how we might be putting resistance to do something about the issue. So what can we do if we're facing something like this? How can we help ourselves, right? Or others maybe. If we see someone is struggling in a particular area, we can also offer them some tips. So first, it's very important to become aware of the situation, right? We don't want to deny there's a problem. We want to be able, if we deny, well, there's nothing we can do about it until we face it and we recognize and we acknowledge there is something there that we need to take care of. We also need to take ownership over the issue, right? Whether we did something wrong before and we didn't want to do anything about it, but now we're ready to take action, right? Let's recognize that. Let's make peace with that. Let's not feel guilty about it. Let's not feel ashamed of what we did or didn't do before, right? But let's take charge of it, over it. Let's not just blame others for the issue. Also important is to let go. Sometimes when we are not willing or not ready to make a change or to do something about an issue, we tend to resist, like we've been talking before. So let's let go that need to resist doing something about the issue, right? Let's surrender to the situation. Let's understand that it is there, right? It's here, it's here now. We're facing this now. Let's face it. Let's go through it. Let's find a solution on how to overcome it. Let's not just put it under the rug and make believe there's nothing there, or disregard it and say no, we'll do it later, and then later on it becomes a much bigger problem, right? Let's forgive ourselves. For some people, it's very difficult to not feel guilty, not point the finger and saying it's your fault, if I knew I shouldn't have done this, or I should have done something about it before, and that doesn't help. That doesn't make us feel good, right? Just so let's be more gentle with ourselves. Let's be our best friend. How our best friend will talk to us if we tell them about an issue we're having, right? Our best friend is going to be gentle. It's going to be nice. It's going to say something that's going to make us feel better. That's going to motivate us to do something about this, right? So let's forgive ourselves. Let's be gentle. Let's be there for ourselves. Let's support ourselves in the process, right? And lastly, for some people, visualization it works very good, and I recommend this a lot. So try closing your eyes and picture yourself the way you will look and you will feel once you have already overcome the problem. Let's just say you're having you want to lose some weight, or you want a better job, you're having financial difficulties, you've been diagnosed with something, and they've been giving you medication, and you want to be healthier, you want to be happier, you want to be better, in a better place. Close your eyes and picture yourself already there, already the way you want to be today, right? But let's not think of that version of ourselves that it will be one day down the road, in the future. Let's connect that person with who we are today. Let's imagine that person is us today. It's right now. That's me. That's how I feel. That's how I am. How do I wake up in the morning when I'm happy, when I'm healthy, when I'm in the place where I want to be, when I have the job I want to have, when I live where I want to live, when I'm surrounded by the people I want to have in my life. Let's imagine ourselves already there, that we already accomplished that, how we feel about ourselves, right? How it feels to be that version of ourselves. And let's practice that, and that will help us. That will help us stay more positive about the issue and more hopeful, and will give us, a path. It will motivate us. Even if we don't know how we're going to get from where we are today to where we need to be, let's just start by doing that. And that will be a great place to start. To conclude, I just want to mention that there are times that we are faced with situations that are beyond our control, and we still have to face them. There's no way that we could have avoided a situation, and even though we can control something from happening, we can control how we feel about it. We can control how we think about it. We can control how we talk about it, right? Because thoughts, feelings, and words have weight, and they affect us and affect other people as well. So it's important to keep that in mind and to be willing to do something about that, and not just disregard that as if nothing is going on. Because with time, something that we think or we feel or we have said, if we don't do something about it and we just let it grow, it could affect us physically down the road, right? And let's never think that it's too late. Even if we've had the issue for a long time, even we have reached a certain age, even if we are already, let's say, sick, taking medication, whatever situation might have been. Let's, real understand that it's never too late to do something about it, to take action, right? To change our mind, to change our heart about a situation. The way I see it, the only thing that has no remedy is death itself. Everything else has a solution, as complicated as it might seem. So let's think about that. Let's if this is a particular issue that we're struggling with, and you feel this is information that can help you, in your journey, please comment, please like the video, share it if you feel this is something that can help other people. If these tips, are helping you, but they're not taking you where you need to go, or you feel your problem it's a little bit more complicated than that and you need help, feel free to reach out, whether it is by comment on this video or by reaching out to me personally. I'll be more than willing to talk to you and answer any questions you might have if you feel this is something that you don't want to share with anyone else. I also give one-to-one sessions if you're interested in going a lot deeper or in much more profound into your problem and find hopefully the root cause of what's bothering you and how to be the better version of yourself, right? Which is what we all want. We all want to be happy. So thank you so much for watching. Please take care of yourselves in the full sense of the word, now that we've seen what can possibly be getting in the way for us to do that. Let's be more gentle with ourselves and with others. Many blessings to you, and don't forget to wear your mask. Take care.